I'm excited for this one. The evidence of a turning tide in Dallas. I teased this one last night. I've got a couple different things that I want to talk about and make sure that people understand. Hopefully, you guys are on the same page with me. And hopefully, some of this makes sense to you as far as what's happened, what's already different than in previous years with this organization, and what will be the ultimate telltale sign. It's coming up right after this. That's the right. We're going to let this clip here serve as the teaser, the table setter, if you will. Evidence. And then you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and post this as well, just for copyright purposes. I don't want to get got. Let me post the full clip to my timeline real quick. I posted the teaser to my Twitter timeline. That way it didn't spoil it as far as the YouTube video is concerned. I'm gonna say full clip, shoddy evidence. There we go. You guys are gonna like this. Forgive the unprepared nature of the intro of this so far, but I promise you it's worth it. Just stick with me. Once that gets posted in the next couple seconds. So Cowboys fans have been asking for things to change for quite some time now. And there have been some question marks surrounding whether or not they already have, or I guess I teased the urgency with Osa as a potential sign of things to change, of a turning tide, and asked the question. And I was surprised to see some of the feedback from a lot of you that it was a 50-50 split from what I could tell. And I was still expecting 80-20 at best, as far with the 80% being pessimism towards their operation. But it seems as if some of you are already catching on to this. And so that's sort of what I guess inspired today's video. So let's talk about it. Here we go. My screen should be reflected on yours. Full clip.
Home and had the staff at home and done a lot of that stuff. Why was it important to bring them here?
I think we learned a couple years ago with Mike, when I took over as the coordinator, that when you stay back and some guys go, things get lost. And so it's just better to move the whole shop. And again, kudos to Jerry and Steven and being willing to do it. And it's certainly expensive to do it, but you bring everybody up here, and we all got in here on Sunday, and Monday morning was no different than working out of the Star. And we just worked most of the day on football, and we got pulled away to formals. And otherwise, what happens is a guy gets caught on a flight and he's flying and he misses something, and just the attention to detail is not the same. I think we learned that a couple years ago with what we tried to do with.
Brian, what about home and
So let's summarize what he's saying there, okay? And we'll listen to it one more time if you guys feel that's necessary. That's the problem. I probably should have done this in a live setting, because this is really important stuff. I need your feedback to make sure that you guys get it. Got all
had the staff at home and done a lot of that stuff? Why was it important to bring them here?
Quiet down now. Peanut gallery. All the bomb pops going today. Semi-intentional. Gorilla Mind, Recover 180, and Waggle. 3 of my go-tos. Anyway. What Shoddy is saying there is, in years past at the Combine, the Cowboys would only have a select number of coaching staff members, talent evaluators, front office members, or otherwise actually on site in Indy for the Combine. And it's important to keep in mind too, the scouting Combine, as much as as big of an event it is, it's a reality TV show, really. But what's the actual product that people pay attention to that's made it, it's all the on-field drill work that's made it the product that it is today is actually third on the list of importance from an organizational perspective. Okay. It's the physicals and the in-person meetings that matter more than that, than the on-field physical work and the drills and the 40s and all that stuff, the underwear Olympics. Okay. The physicals and the meetings. That's number one. And all teams and GMs, they put their heads together on this stuff to figure out the medical evaluation. They sort of use all their resources, and it's like a collective of information in a lot of ways. But so secondly, though, to that is this is a time where it's right before we're just a couple weeks out now of the start of the new league year, which means that free agency will officially be opening. This means that this is the perfect opportunity. It's a gathering place for not only incoming players, for current players in the NFL and their agents, right? Their agents are on site. Every GM is on site. Every owner, for the most part, is on site. So it's a gathering ground for contract negotiation happenings. So those two things are more important than the on-field drill work that you see. Okay. And so the reason why that's important is because that leads me into the Oso Odigizua conversation, right? The Cowboys have been working with urgency to get him done. And yeah, it's not uncommon for them to prioritize their guys, but it is uncommon to prioritize their guys, spend at the top of the free agent market, which is where Osa is relative to his position, right? $21 million roughly, or somewhere in that range is what it's going to ultimately end up as. And then also do that with urgency and be fast about it and aggressive to it, right? Because if you're signing your own players, guys who were previously under contract with you, you don't have to wait until March 12th to enter into negotiation, or Mike, as the tampering period 48 hours prior. March 10th would be the legal tampering period to start negotiating. That's what teams do. It's really, it's dumb. But so all those things, they matter from a team building perspective, right? At the combine. Well, the Cowboys in years past used to have not everybody on site for this. And I don't know, forgive the ignorance here. I don't know how many other teams do what they're doing now, as per the request of Brian Schottenheimer, who has stepped in and said, look, when Mike was here, not everybody was on site. When now that I'm the head coach, I want everybody on site. Jerry, that means you're going to have to pony up a little bit of money because we are completely relocating our operation from Frisco, Texas to Indianapolis, Indiana. That's different, and that should mean something to you. All right. The second thing that's different, I mentioned here. Let me reshare my screen again so y'all can see. I want y'all to. Oh boy, my camera cut out. I hope you hope you guys have been able to hear at the very least everything that I've been saying. Let me figure out what's going on here. Let's just unplug and replug. This Wi-Fi is killing me. Come on now. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. I sure hope so. It's showing that I'm not on the screen. Well, maybe if I just share it again, you guys can at least see something. There we go. Try that. Okay. Apologies for that, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe that situation will resolve itself here soon. But if not, we're just going to have to deal with it. Okay? All you need to do is listen anyways. It doesn't matter what's on the screen anymore. Shotty could have done what most other head coaches do, which is, go out of his way, not do the extra necessary legwork to find the most qualified candidate and instead do what most other coaches do, like I mentioned, and hire his own guys, his buddies, his boys, his homies, his previously or his prior colleagues, the guys that he's already familiar and comfortable with. Remember, that's that big C word, complacency, comfortability, that I've been trying to urge the Cowboys, or at least their fans, to understand what they need to get away from. Shotty is doing that. There are only two coaches that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm aware of right now. You guys can correct me in the comments, that were previously on staff. That's Lunda Wells and Steve Shimko. Surely there's a few more, analysts and things of that nature that were already around. But for the most part, the four highest ranking, or the three, I guess, highest ranking offensive coaches under Brian Schottenheimer have no previous ties to this organization or Shotty himself. Shotty mentioned in that clip, or in the entire interview from that, which is the clip that I pulled from of his combine interview, that he'd been studying Clayton Adams from afar for quite some time. He'd been studying Connor Riley from afar for quite some time. He had been, same thing with Junior Adams. Philosophical alignment across the board. There's a very clear emphasis and a change here. That's clearly they're trying to overhaul and revamp the running game. Right, but they're doing things that are different in the process. Osa is the third example that we actually kind of touched on first. Okay. Jordan Lewis, as of today, is the fourth. And I think maybe I added an extra number here in the tweet. You'll see Jordan Lewis I was referencing as the fifth. Micah would be the sixth. Let's get to that one, just so y'all know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm referring to here. Well, actually, I'm wrong. So it's Osa. It's the entire staff being on site on Jerry's dime in Indianapolis. It's the coaching staff that Schottenheimer hired that he wasn't previously acquainted with. And then it's this one, which I need to do a little bit more research on, but I tagged my guys, Cowboys Fan Talk and Foots the King, because we had been having some banter, some deliberation about the evidence of things that are changing. Cowboys Fan Talk, he was one of the skeptics. He came around. He said, look, and he does great work, by the way. Shout out to both of these guys. They're killing it in this industry, in this community. But, he's like, look, I was a skeptic, but I'm starting to see it now. I'm coming around, and I'm excited by it. I think it's actually in the comments here. Let's look. CFT says, all I need is evidence and I'm going to shut up. Let's roll. This is what I want to see. So he knows. He's been asking for these things, but now we're seeing them. They're happening. This is full circle here, guys. And now, please don't misconstrue the words. Like, this doesn't mean that I'm not sitting here telling you that it's going to all work out. But at the very least, what I'm telling you is that they're doing something different. Okay, they're no longer, at least as of 2025, the calendar year, and then the season that will soon be, once the March 12th 4 p.m. deadline gets here, the start of the new league year. They are no longer embodying the definition of insanity. Mike Fisher's report, who I'm pleased to be working alongside now as a writer in this industry, not just a creator of video work, but CowboysCountry.com is where you can catch all the things that we're doing. Great insight, great team, great work. But he's talking about this too. Look no further. Once again, give Jerry some credit, guys. Ponying up the pockets for the indie project. And then this here, Cowboys marketing-minded boss Jerry Jones has rather amazingly canceled his annual on the bus Indy media meeting because he's got visits with players, agents scheduled instead. The agenda includes D-Law, Rico, Jordan Lewis, Izzy Akwamu, and Nick Vigil. Like a GM is supposed to do stuff. So Mike is, there's a little bit of sarcasm in there at the end, right? And he's just saying he's speaking on behalf of the fan, which many of you, myself included, have uttered the frustrations of what the heck is going on? Why are we not doing the things that championship caliber organizations are doing, or at the very least attempting to portray as if we are winning comes first? It hasn't always felt that way, but now it's starting to. Now let's see if they can double down, though. Okay, Micah would be the 6th. If this is the 4th, Jordan Lewis was the 5th, Micah is the 6th. And what's the deadline? March 12th at 4 p.m. If they extend Micah Parsons prior to that date, 2 weeks and counting, or 2 weeks and change, they clear $18 million, up to $18 million in cap space. Presumably, to begin spending as if they were actually aggressive, not comfortable, not complacent, but prioritizing winning. Putting winning first. The next step that you can do, so it's simple, right? It's zero negotiation required to restructure Dak and CD's contracts. I'm still seeing a lot of people in my comments, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I love the discussion, and I love learning, helping each other learn, feeding off of each other, right? People are saying, well, I don't think CD would do that. I don't think he would take less. Well, he's not taking less, guys. Get that out of your head. A restructure requires zero negotiation. All it's doing is just changing the way that his money, the same money that he's getting no matter what, is going to be reflected on the books. It's a salary, or it's an accounting principle. Okay. CowboysCountry.com. If you look up Landon Holyfield, you can find all my articles. I've got one specific for this topic. I'll pull that up here now. Actually, I guess I should probably preface my name as well. Let's go. So it's Athlon Sports is the parent company. You just scroll down to Landon Holyfield, Athlon Sports, or CowboysCountry.com, and you'll find it. It's this one right here, the very first one. Cowboys plan to create $100 million in cap room. You can just kind of see a little bit of what you're going to get right here, but please go read that because it's important. Once again, don't let the Joneses fool you. Maybe they're going to stop trying to fool you now with regards to this topic here about their financial situation and the money that they can or cannot create or do not have. They can get to $100 million very easily. It's 5 moves that I've already listed also on my Instagram account at The Lando Show. Is this still sharing my screen? What the? I don't think it is. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me stop this one. Let me pull this up for you. There we go. I should be able to see that now. So just scroll down to the bottom. It's the very first one I wrote back on February 19th. Cowboys get major news on new cap announcement. Okay. It's 5 moves, like I said, that require, or five easy moves, only one of which requires negotiation. That's the one with Micah Parsons, who has already mentioned that he'd be willing to take less money. This one right here. You click that, and you can go figure out exactly how. Or you can go to Instagram at The Lando Show, and you can watch and then read the caption because I've done all the work for you. It's there. You just got to know the truth about what's happening. And that's what you get here. I'm Lando from The Lando Show Sports Media, and this is Sports Below the Surface. Okay. The evidence of a turning tide in Dallas. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me if I'm crazy, if you feel that way. I need to know. And how can I get, and also tell me how I can get better and improve this product for you so that it's more palatable. And obviously, my screen, not my video, not cutting out midway through would be a great place to start. So trust me, I'll get to work on that as well. But I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your continued support. 75,000 people and counting who, at the very least, semi believe in what I do and what I'm building here. That's only going to continue to improve and only going to continue to grow. Thanks to your help alongside that. Okay? I think that's all I got. So until then, or until later, remember, guys, that prayer changes things and the war is already won.